Hi all, this is part of the ASE Assignment 4, and as part of this we need to do an ionic cap, which basically, yeah, we have done the ionic cap, and also we have included two of the APIs. One is a text, one is a translator, which translates any word from French or French to English, and the other API which utilizes the first API, and like the first API, if it translates any plant name or any plant species, it would take that and get the results of its sister plant species and their scientific, which basically contains their common name and their hybrid name, scientific name. As you can see, we have given a sign in and register option, and we are doing this in iPhone X version, and this is our homepage. As you can see, we've given few validations like the last name should contain some characters or something like that, and it would pop up if you try to register without those details. And something like this, and yeah. And if we are successfully registered without any errors or validations, or all the validations are passed through, we would come to this API directly, where we can basically search any French words or French phrases. But as for this mashup, we'll go with plant species or plant names, and this is a maple in English, and in French it is this word, and we'll go ahead and search with this, try to translate this. As you can see, you'll find the maple here, and there's a JSON object. There's a response from the API which you are getting, and from here we'll extract this and push it to the UI. And if we are going to click this search, it would give us its scientific names, different types of scientific names, and common names for its sister species. As you can see, hybrid sugar maple, Freeman maple, Queensland maple, and so on. There is another plant. We'll go. We'll go with another plant. See, oak tree. We can go with oak. See, and try to copy this. Either you can copy paste that or you can enter it. It doesn't matter. As you can see, you'll find this oak. The word gets translated into oak tree, and our app is able to do it successfully from French to English. And if you're going to click on the search, it would give all its sister species like California oak and its scientific name, and various other oak trees. And yeah, this is basically our UI part, and we have another option. We can either sign in. As for our convenience, we just give our username and password like this. But because yeah, if you are successful, you'll be going there, and if you are try to give any other password or something, it would ask us to enter the credentials and redirect us to the login page. And coming to the code, okay, yeah. So we have created these pages. Inside this, first we have created a home page, which will be having routing to these. On click we'll be having we'll be displaying these pages. And we have this API basically where our two APIs are written. The one is a plant type, plant retrieval, I mean like plant, and the other one is the language translator. Here one function is for validate. I mean like this function basically searches, takes the search value, which is nothing but this SpongeBob. Sorry, and it tries to send call to this service. And here in this service, you're passing that search value and joining with our API, and this is our API key, and we have included some headers. And once the response is coming back, sends it back to our app API, I mean the API TS file. And here we will extract the translation equivalent of the search, that is nothing but oak, and we have printed it and we have returned it here for our purpose. And coming to this get detail section, after which basically is nothing but this second search button. When we click on this, it would take the after translation details, which is nothing but this value, and send it to the service, translate service. And here in this translate service, it takes the plant value and it makes a query to this API. This API, the API URL is this one, and we'll add a token. And once the response is back, we will send it back here, and we have stored it in after plant object, and we are trying to push it into an array where we'll extract the required details like scientific name and common name. And we are populating these values in the UI using an ng4, and there's a small table, a common name and a scientific name, and the column values are populated here, as you can see here, common name and scientific name, the values, respective values. Yeah, that's all for the recording. Thank you.